Good evening, welcome to the State of Business on our television. I'm Sachin Ratnayaka. Let's look at the headlines first. No power cuts until further notice, PUCSL assures. Government revises down the tourist arrivals forecast. News in detail. The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka announces that there will be no power cuts until further notice as relevant fuel stocks have been received to relevant power stations. PUCSL Chairman Janaka Ratnayaka in a special statement released to the media said the decision was taken after an overall review carried out into the matter. The Ministry of Power last evening announced that they have decided to purchase electricity from private power plants for a short period of time. Minister Gamini Lokuge said that a proposal in this regard will be submitted to the Cabinet of Ministers who will gather tonight. He also said steps are also being taken to purchase fuel for Ceylon Electricity Board directly from the Indian oil company. Meanwhile, PUCSL Chairman Janaka Ratnayaka in a special statement released to the media asserted that there will be no power cuts until further notice as relevant fuel stocks have been received to relevant power stations. He also said that the decision was also influenced by the inconvenience that could cause to the students who are sitting for the advanced level examination if power cuts are being imposed. Moreover, he said a capacity of about 200 megawatts of electricity has been added to the nation grid from the third generator of the Norochole coal power plant, which resumed its operation today. Sri Lanka's exports in 2021 recorded $15.12 billion, up by 23% from 2020, sustaining its resilience despite an unprecedented economic crisis. Releasing the latest provisional data, Trade Minister Bandula Gunawardena appreciated the contribution of exporters to the economy despite the unprecedented economic condition they had to deal with, assuring more support to reach a $20 billion target this year.
විශාල අර්බුදයක් තුළ පසුගිය වර්ෂයේදී ලංකා ඉතිහාසයේ ප්‍රථම වතාවට භාණ්ඩ අපනයන ඉපයුම ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් බිලියන 12.4 දක්වා මේ පෞද්ගලික අංශයේ වර්ධනය කරගෙන තියෙනවායි කියන එක මම මේ අවස්ථාවේ බොහොම සතුටින් ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නට කැමැති වෙනවා. අපේ දීර්ඝ කාලයක් තිස්සේම තිබෙන්නේ läග සිටින අපනයන වර්ධනය. කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ලංකාවේ භාණ්ඩ අපනයන මෑත ඉතිහාසයේ තුල ඇමරිකානු ඩොලර් බිලියන 8යි 10යි අතර දක්වා දෝලණය වෙනවා. අපේ අපනයන තරංකාරීත්වය නැත්තම් එක්ස්පෝර්ට් කම්පිටිටිව්නස් එක නැත්තම් අපිට වෙළඳපොළට කිසිසේත් යන්න බෑ. ඒ නිසා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී බොහෝ අපනයන කර්මාන්ත පවත්වාගෙන යන්න එන්නත්කරණය ලබා දීම ඒ කර්මාන්ත පවත්වාගෙන යාමට අවසර ලබා දීම යනාදීදී විවිධ විවේචන රජයට තිබුණා මේ රෝගිය පැතිරෙන අවස්ථාවේදී අපනයන ටික පවත්වාගෙන යන්න යනවා. නමුත් සාමාන්‍ය ජනතාවට තේරෙන්න ගන්න අමාරු දේ තමයි අපනයන නැත්තම් අපිට ඛනිජ තෙල් ගේන්න බෑ. අපනයන නැත්තම් අපිට බෙහෙත් ගේන්න බෑ. අපනයන නැත්තම් අපිට එන්නත්කරණය කරන්න බෑ. අපනයන නැත්තම් අපිට ආර්ථිකය පවත්වාගෙන යාම සඳහා අවශ්‍ය විදේශ විනිමය ඉපයුමක් නැත්තම්
Meanwhile, EDB Chairman Suresh Dimel, who also joined with Minister Bandula Gunawardena to brief the media personnel, said that almost all the major merchandise sectors, apparel and textiles, tea, rubber-based products, coconut-based products, electronics and electronic components recorded increased exports. EDB chief also said that in 2021, exports to free trade agreement partners accounted for 7.2% and total merchandise exports increased by 33.57 to $906.99 million.
මාස 8ක් අපිට පුළුවන් වුණා ඩොලර් බිලියන 1කට වැඩිය ප්‍රගතියක් ලබා ගන්න. දැන් මේක අපි ක්ෂේත්‍ර අතරේ බැලුවොත් ක්ෂේත්‍ර ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. අපිට කැපිලා පේනවා රබර් ආශ්‍රිත භාණ්ඩ අපනයනයේදී අපි ඩොලර් බිලියන 1ක් පහු කරා මේ අවුරුද්දේ. ඒ වගේම ග්ලව්ස් වගේ ඒවා මේ කොවිඩ් එක හින්දා ලොකු ප්‍රගතියක් දැක්කා අපි PPE කියන්නේ personal protection equipment අංශේ. තවත් අපි පොල් ආශ්‍රිත අපනයනයේදී 126ක ප්‍රගතියක් පෙන්නුවා ඩොලර් මිලියන 836ක. ඊළඟට වැඩියෙන්ම අපිට වර්ධනයක් පේන අංශ තමයි කුරුඳු, ගම්මිරිස්, කොකෝ පීට්, පොල් ආශ්‍රිත, ඉස්සෝ, මිරිදිය මසුන් හැටියට කියන්නේ shrimps සහ විසිතුරු මසුන් අපනයනය ornamental fish exports.
Stay tuned for more news. We'll be right back after a small commercial break.
These are dreamers. They made their big dreams real, using the same connected devices you and I are holding in our hands right now. So what is stopping you? No dream too big. SLT Mobitel.
Welcome back to the State of Business. A large stock of beetroot worth over rupees 3.2 million, which had been smuggled into the country concealed inside a shipment of potatoes against the import laws, was seized by Sri Lanka Customs last Friday. The investigators commenced investigations following media reports that quoted vendors in Dambulla Economic Centre last week about a foreign kind of beetroot present in their stocks distributed by an unknown source.
There were complaints from the Sri Lankan traders that there are some imported beetroot in the market. So with that, we got really alerted and we decided to have some strict examination of the containers arriving as potato and various other food items. You know, normally these food items are imported into Sri Lanka in large quantities. Therefore, Sri Lanka Customs consider them as low-risk cargo. Using this opportunity, this particular importer, who is said to be a company in Vattala, has concealed beetroot along with the potato. And initially they declared 53,000 or 53 metric tons of potato. But when we conducted the examination, we found only 44,000 kilograms of potato and 16,000 kilograms of beetroot. And the market value of the beetroot is estimated as about 3 million rupees. The Sri Lanka Customs is conducting further investigation. By now we have detained the wharf clerk who came forward to clear these containers, and we will be questioning him. Thereafter we will conduct further investigation, and at the end of the investigation we will move for a customs inquiry, and at the end of the customs inquiry the goods will be confiscated and there will be penalties imposed on the persons responsible.
Hayleys Group goes for another milestone with the unveiling of Lifecode, an ambitious new framework that integrates environment, social and governance-related targets and goals into business strategy across each of its 16 business sectors. The Hayleys Lifecode also includes detailed disclosures on the conglomerate's approach to managing ESG topics, its long-term roadmap, ESG governance and risk management. The Hayleys Lifecode sets out a holistic framework for a driving group-wide call to action anchored to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, marking an unprecedented level of linkage between ESG targets and value creation systems. Hayleys has been a signatory to the UN Global Compact from 2007, adopting Global Reporting Initiative guidelines in 2007 and adopting the first Code of Best Practice on Corporate Governance from 2009, in addition to being the only corporate recognized as the nation's best corporate citizen on 5 occasions. Further, Hayleys Group maintains a global presence across 5 regions with business interests spanning 16 diverse sectors. Hayleys also accounts for $600 million of the country's foreign earnings and 4.2% of the nation's total export income.
It's a policy driven by ESG roadmap that will be integrated into every group company's way of working. It showcases our short-term, our medium-term, and our long-term objectives, targets, and policies. It encapsulates the mantra that we have used to steer the group throughout the years. It is condensed wisdom developed and passed on throughout the years, and now it is up to us to make a difference together. As we move forward, the Hayleys Lifecode, including the policies, will be refreshed and improved as required to keep us relevant to the times.
When it comes to ESG, I'm confident that the 16 sectors and 30,000 people marching to the same beat, we can make a very powerful difference in people's life. This is only practical if the Hayleys Group Life Code is used to formulate a customized, relevant ESG roadmap by each of our sectors.
Government has revised down the tourist arrivals forecast for 2022 to 1.1 million from an earlier ambitious goal of lowering 2.3 million, a move influenced by the surge in Omicron variant in major source markets. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga reveals that the government expects over 1.1 million tourists to visit the country this year, whilst the short-term, medium and long-term strategies rolled out by Sri Lankan tourism will assist to reach the year-end goal. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga yesterday said that the spike in COVID cases, particularly in top source markets in Western Europe and India, has slowed down the tourist arrivals, whilst the strict outbound travel restrictions imposed by China and Japan too had impacted the numbers. Last week he said that the monthly target of 100,000 to 125,000 arrivals will not be accomplished, noting that the future trend of tourism remains uncertain amidst the evolving nature of the pandemic. He also added that other correlated variables such as travel restrictions, vaccination rates and efforts in curtailing the pandemic also reason for the matter. As of yesterday, COVID-19 cases reported globally amounted to 373.58 million in 200 countries, with 5.6 million deaths. The United States, India and Brazil have seen the highest number of confirmed cases, followed by the United Kingdom, France and Russia. As per the provisional data released by the Tourism Ministry yesterday, Sri Lanka has received 76,538 tourists in the first 29 days. Within the past week, there has been a significant increase of 17,538 tourists. However, January is unlikely to beat the best performing month of December post-COVID, which attracted 89,500 tourists. Since mid-2021, Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau rolled out promotions in several countries including Russia, France, Germany and the United Kingdom. The inflow of tourists has been boosted by increased connectivity as well as by international airlines. Stay tuned for stock updates. We'll be right back after another commercial break. Welcome back to the State of Business. Colombo Stock Exchange ended on positive notes today. The All-Share Price Index gained 146.36 points to close at 13,009.50 and the S&P SL20 gained 15.37 points to close at 4,395.92. The turnover was almost 7 billion rupees and over 317 million shares were traded. Coming up next with foreign exchange rates. With that, we wind up today's news. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care. Good night.